and happy Flight Attendant Friday! In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 5 main differences that I've observed between American flight attendant life and South African flight attendant life. Now, obviously, I've never been an American flight attendant, so that aspect of this video, the information about it is going to come from Google and the flight attendant YouTubers from America that I follow. The South African aspect is obviously going to come from my own experience and the experiences of my flight attendant friends. If you're new to my channel, welcome to Cloud Surfer Andy. My name is Andy and I am a 25-year-old South African flight attendant based in Johannesburg. And on this channel, you'll find videos I make to give you guys advice and tips on navigating this whole flight attendant life, and also I make vlogs of my day-to-day life as I go about also trying to figure all of this out. Okay, but enough rambling, let's get into this video because I constantly invite you guys to ask me questions and I love answering them, but sometimes I see that a lot of the questions kind of have like a preconceived kind of idea of how everything works. It's kind of like I just watched an American flight attendant's YouTube video, so this is what I expect flight attendant life to be like, so let me just ask Andy if this is exactly what it's like in South Africa as well. If that makes sense. But fear not, I am here to clear up any confusion you may have and straighten things up. The number one difference I have seen between South African and American flight attendant life is how you join the airline. In America, you'll see a job vacancy for a particular airline, you'll apply, you'll get interviews. There's different interviews like a phone interview, a video interview, and an in-person interview. And then you'll get offered a conditional job offer if they like you, which basically means the airline is saying we want you to work for us on the condition that you will pass all of the training that you still have to do. Then you will do the training, and then if you pass it, you pass all of your exams, you pass all of your assessments, you get offered the job and you start flying for them. Done. Now in South Africa, it's kind of backwards. In South Africa, you have to do the training first. I have done a more in-depth video about this. It was my very first YouTube video and it's called How to Become a Flight Attendant in South Africa. I will link it in the description below or up here somewhere. That one is a lot more in-depth. It tells you exactly what you need to do to become a flight attendant in South Africa. But in this one, I'm just going to dial it down and basically tell you it works pretty much opposite. In South Africa, you have to basically do the training first. You have to get the qualification, you pass those exams and everything, and then you get your CAA license. This is the CAA license. This is what you get when you have passed your ab initio course of becoming a cabin crew member, and this is the highest requirement that you need in order to even be considered and invited to an interview with an airline. So yes, America, you apply for the job first and then you train. South Africa, you train first, you get this license, and then you apply for the job. The second difference that I have noticed is the way that seniority works. In America, seniority basically gives preference to the people that have been in that company longer. So if you join the company and your employee number is number 30, let's say you were the 30th cabin crew to join the company, and somebody else joins the company and they are the 65th cabin crew member to join that company. Obviously, number 30 is more senior to number 65 because they've been there longer. They are a higher number, if that makes sense. When both number 30 and number 65 want to bid for a certain trip to Las Vegas for 2 days or something like that, the preference will obviously go to number 30 because they've been there longer. In South Africa, seniority is something that a lot of us aspire to. Being a senior means that you are the in-charge flight attendant on every flight that you're gonna do. Basically a step in a ladder because most of us are trying to grow up in our careers. You have to meet a certain criteria in order to even be considered as a senior. You have to have had at least 2 years flying or about 1,000 hours flying, and you actually need to be trained to perform as a senior. You have to be assessed on how to be a senior. So for us, it's like you want to become a senior and then you want to become a route checker, you want to become an instructor, and so on and so forth. It is a step in our ladder up in our career. And being a senior means that you have a definite position in the aircraft that you are going to operate as. So one left generally is what it is. It is the main passenger door in the front. the one on the left hand side. Everyone else can kind of get swapped around, but the senior does not move because that is the in-charge flight attendant's position. On to the third difference, the PA or passenger address system. I have noticed differences with how American flight attendants make PA announcements and the way that South African flight attendants do. Obviously, overall, we all try and we all try and say the same message. At the end of the day, we're trying to tell you how to wear your life jackets, what to do in an emergency situation, how to use the oxygen mask if it drops down, stuff like that. At the end of the day, that's basically all the same information. Everyone is trying to say that exact same thing. But in America, I feel like they get a little bit more freedom to ad-lib. Like, you've seen all of those funny flight attendant demo videos. Yeah, I love those videos. They are hilarious. And I honestly wish that we were allowed to do stuff like that a bit more often, but we're not. On one hand, it is awesome because it does keep the passengers engaged and everything like that, but I feel like in South Africa and with the CAA and everything, we like to take it a little bit more seriously, and this is safety information. We're trying to get it across that it is serious. We don't want you to focus on the fact that we called a life jacket a little yellow bikini, like, because that's not what it is. It is a life-saving piece of equipment in the event of a water crash, basically. So yeah, I know that Kulula did have that really funny video of that Indian guy making the announcement with all the different accents and stuff. I absolutely loved that. But the CAA is really strict, guys. In South Africa, they are really strict. And basically, the announcements have to be approved by them. And if you're saying something that wasn't approved by them, that isn't in your manual, then you can't say it. It's that simple. So yeah, I feel like American flight attendants get to have a little bit more freedom with their announcements as opposed to here in South Africa. We usually just stick to the script. The fourth difference I'm going to talk about is layovers. Layovers are very common in America. They're one of the things that made me just love the idea of becoming a flight attendant, and I'm sure you've seen them and you've also wanted to become a flight attendant because of them, but we don't really get that in South Africa. Basically, America is a huge country and you cross a lot of time zones between some airports, so they do need their time to rest and their downtime between flights, thus layovers. In South Africa, however, a flight from Johannesburg to Cape Town is under 2 hours, so we don't need the rest at that time. Okay, and the fifth and final difference I want to talk about is grooming. In America, they are so relaxed, you guys. They are so relaxed about their grooming. I was watching a video by Wonderfully Ellie, I'll also link that below, where she talks about wearing boots because it was winter with her uniform. They get to wear knee-length boots with their uniform. We don't get to do that. We have to wear either our step-out heels for every time we're out of the aircraft, or our cabin shoes, like ballerina slipper type of shoes, for when we're in the plane. Some people choose to wear their step-out heels all day, even during the flights and everything, but most of us aren't absolutely crazy, so we tend to take those off and put on flats. But those are the only two options that we have. If it's winter, if it's summer, whatever the season is, those are the only two types of shoes that we can wear. In America, they even get to wear their hair down. They get to operate with their hair down, and I've seen this from multiple YouTubers. They get to wear their hair down while they operate. Just like this, they'll get to wear their uniform and their scarf and everything, and then their hair will be down like this. They might clip it back a little bit, so it is a little bit more out of their face, but this is fine, apparently. Whereas with us, South African companies are a lot more strict. Like, with us, we can't even operate with our hair like this, like just down in a pony like that, because it's loose. You can't have it like that. You have to turn it into a bun, whether you make it a high bun or a low bun or whatever the case may be, whatever you want. But it has to basically, sorry, I don't have like a pin on me, so I'm just gonna hold it up. You have to have it as a bun. It has to be tied up, all of your hair. If you have a fringe that's too long, you have to clip it back. If your hair is in a bob, You can wear it down so long as it doesn't touch your collar, so it has to be roughly around here, then you can wear your hair down. A lot of people tend to just keep their hair really short, or otherwise, yeah, just do a bun if your hair is long. That's basically, it's really funny to me how there's all these little differences between the way that flight attendants go about like doing things, or the way they look, or the way that they operate. Okay guys, there you have it, my 5 differences between the American flight attendant life and the South African flight attendant life. We can't all pick and choose the rules and stuff that we have to follow, but at the end of the day, I feel like we have a lot more in common than what we have that differentiates us. I think we are all in this business because we love to travel, we love to fly, and we just like how different our schedules are. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you have any questions for me, if you have any video ideas for me that you want me to do, then let me know and I'll definitely try to do them for you guys. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can have your attention for just a moment. I'm going to go over the important safety features of this Boeing 737-700. To fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat end into the buckle. To release, lift up on the buckle. Your seatbelt needs to be worn low and tight about your hips and worn anytime you're seated. Guys, we got 6 emergency exits on this aircraft, 2 forward exit doors, 2 overwing window exits, and 2 rear exit doors. Signs overhead and lights on the floor lead to all exits. There's a safety information card located in the seatbelt pocket nearest you. Trust me, take a look at it. I mean the card. Now, if needed, there is a life vest located underneath your seat. Remove the vest only if told to do so. Pull the red strap, remove the vest from the container, place it over your head, wrap that strap around your waist, and buckle it in the front. Pull on the strap. Now, once outside the aircraft, pull down on that red inflation handle to inflate your vest, and manually inflate blow into the tube at your shoulder. Alright guys, your flight attendants are walking the walk and strutting the stuff to make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened, your tray tables and seatbacks are in the full upright and locked position, and all your carry-on items are completely underneath the seat in front of you.